Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Mo Hazimi with Morning Cup of Moes. We got a great episode coming this week. We got a lot to talk about. NFL, Super Bowl, all that good stuff. Dr. Mo Ahmed here is going to be giving you your topics for the day and where we're getting our coffee from.
Let's get into it. So basically, we got good topics. Like you said, we have Coffee House. We have Rapid Fix. We're going to talk about the chiropractic world, how people expect things to be very fast and rather short process rather than a journey.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about NBA, the trades that went down, NFL, Super Bowl, and a little bit of UFC.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So you said Coffee House, but it's spelled Haus. So Haus. And so when you told me Coffee House, I'm looking it up. I'm like, dude, where is this? And then I looked
I read it as House.
No, it's House. Maybe being in the South for 7 years, I'd say, well, what up, House? So, down there, they're like, what's up, boss? Instead of boss, it's House. It's great. But we went in there, and it seemed like it was more or less a smaller operation. It looked like the owner was the main worker in there, and maybe her husband was there with her. Nice customer service. It was more intimate and friendly. I went up and just asked her what was the best ones, and she gave me the brown sugar oat milk latte, and then I asked for the slow black drip coffee. So let's start off with that slow black drip coffee.
Is that
I know. Yep, that's yours right there.
All right, let's get it.
And I'll take our magical cup. Remember, guys, if you guys haven't done so already, like our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe, do that all good stuff, please. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's see. For black coffee, that's good.
It's good.
Doesn't have that sour taste at all.
It's not too
That's
bitter.
straight coffee.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Very good.
Yeah, rate it.
I'm going first.
Yeah.
7-4.
Oh, dang, that's high.
I'm going 7-4.
Holy crap, that's high.
I'm going 7-4.
For a black, 6-4. Easy.
For a black coffee, I'm going
6-4. No, that was good. That was really good. Now, if it was 6-4, 6-4. That's the highest black we have.
Man.
Come on. Highest black we have. That was good.
I like this.
I could easily do that on a regular. It's got a good taste. It's not sour. It's not bitter. Because once you get black and they go a little bit too strong,
You get sourness.
You get that sour. Man, it's nasty. This is straight black, and you actually taste the coffee very well. So I would do that on a regular. And it's down the street. Joy. It's right off of Joy Road and Morton Taylor, I believe.
Is it?
It's on that corner there. It's in a plaza. Man, it was very good, easy to get to. I'll probably be using them, especially when I go in that route. So let's talk about this brown sugar oat milk latte. Let's go ahead and take your mug there.
Thank you, sir.
So she said this was her most popular. I liked it just because, the oat milk, I sort of made myself a little lactose just because I don't do a lot of dairy. So when they said oat milk, it was like, yep, I'll try that one, no problem. She said this one was her most popular, and then they got a seasonal one, a tiramisu one that she says doing very good that everyone's buying right now. Yeah, so I figured instead of seasonal, let's try this one and see how it goes.
Ready?
It's okay.
It's holiday.
It's holiday. Yeah.
Holiday.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a holiday taste.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It's once again, I mean, I'm okay with the lattes and the oat milk. It doesn't always taste too sweet. But this one's just once
milky.
again a little milky. So I think I just need to start telling them lighter on the milk because I want to taste the coffee. Because I got one yesterday from our wonderful Starbucks and it was
Starbucks.
Hey, we're bringing that in because it was actually not bad. It was actually not bad. It was a cold drink too, which I usually don't like cold.
To order like oat milk something from Starbucks.
It was oat milk brown sugar.
I think it was that, right?
And it was a cold drink, and it was actually sipped on that, and it was actually very good.
liked it?
Yeah, I still told him light oat milk. I wish I would have told him light oat milk more, but you still taste the milk a little bit too much. But it's still I could do it.
Rate it.
5-6.
I'm not a fan of this. I'm going 4-4.
Okay. Yeah, I mean 5-6. So just figuring, people would like this. It doesn't match my taste buds by any means, but people would like this for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
More
holiday theme.
more holiday theme for sure. So on to the
black
next
coffee,
one.
I can do.
I'm doing it right now. That's what I'm gonna do more than anything.
I'm gonna do both.
Next one. What was the reason why I want to bring up Rapid Fix? Do you remember?
Rapid Fix. I feel like so many patients focus on quick fix rather than a journey, and I think a lot of times patients are undereducated by the doctors.
Yeah.
Because people come in and they're expecting results right away.
Yeah.
Rather, chiropractic specifically, more 70% on us, 30% on the patient. The patient needs to do stuff as well.
For sure.
But people think like, oh, I'm gonna go get adjusted, bam, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that at all.
And here's, I brought this up. I've been doing this for 10, 11 years. You're a year and a little in.
Almost.
So you haven't seen as much of this. I think you sort of got it last week with that new patient that came in. And like we said before, we don't adjust typically the first day, especially when we got neurological findings. And so I was explaining that to the patient, and I educate. I'm with them for about 40 minutes, and I talk to them about exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to go about it and all that good stuff. And took the x-rays, sent them on their way, and it's like they got mad. And they went to the front and they were arguing like, no, you can't give me a shot. You can't get rid of the pain. You can't do that. Like, what are you doing?
Specifically and told them that the initial day isn't.
Initial days, this is typically what we're. So that's where I'm like, they're so fixated on this quick fix that it just doesn't exist. So and the only thing that you could possibly do and educate and talk to, which I do on a regular basis, and I know you do too because you've been doing it, is this didn't happen overnight. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you have a problem, you tell me, hey, I've been dealing with it for 10 years and now you want any doc, I don't care, chiropractor, medical doc, ortho, whatever it is. And you want them to just sort of snap a finger and it's fixed.
Not possible.
Like that's not possible. Like even if you go and get surgery or go and get you're still got a turnover time of recovery. Then you got to build up the muscles and do all that good stuff with therapies. Nothing's overnight. So that's where I'm just like, this quick fix world that we're in right now is just driving me crazy because of the fact of it just, if it's an acute or chronic issue, it doesn't happen overnight. That didn't cause your pain overnight. Take smokers, for example. I hear this on a regular basis from smokers. If they've been smoking for 20, 30 years and like, oh, I've been smoking for 20 years, it never did anything to me. Yeah, it took that long to affect your body, but it's affecting your body on a daily basis.
For sure.
Whereas if you quit, within the first 7 hours, your body's rejuvenating.
Yeah.
So that is a sort of quick fix there, but it takes a long time to fix the damage at that point.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm just like, man, that rapid fix versus actually feeling better is where it's like, there's a loss in translation there.
For sure. I think the problem with people specifically is like a sudden motion happens in their life where like they go to grab something and something happens. It's like the saying of like, what broke the camel's back?
True.
Where it's like they turn somewhere, they hurt their back and say like, oh, that is what happened to me.
Yes.
No. Yeah. There has been a history of things going on.
Yeah.
That's what broke the camel's
Good point.
back. That one little sudden motion.
Yes.
And for us to fix something that's been going on for 10, 15 years, it takes time. Takes time. Like you mentioned a while ago, we talked about this situation. Basically, somebody in the workforce, somebody working. As soon as you start your job, you're not going to be on top of your job.
No,
you're not. It takes time.
Yeah. And that's, the whole what caused it. And then the feeling versus fixing, you could feel better pretty quick. On average, I mean, we get people 30 to 50% better after about 12 visits, feeling better. Doesn't mean that they're fixed. Yeah. There's a difference between what you feel and actually what's going on underneath the surface. It's sort of like, just putting a Band-Aid on a cut. It's not going to fix the cut. Time's going to fix that cut. Band-Aid is probably just going to make it stop bleeding, help you clot, do all those things, but it's not going to fix the issue. So I think that's where it's just, feeling, they're mixing that feeling and fixing, and that's where it's losing translation at that point, and you just brought up the workplace, and I think this is a huge thing in today's world is everyone wants that instant gratification. COVID sort of affected a lot of people with their mentality and work ethic at that point, where they just wanted to quick make that money, right? Where you just brought it up. How long does it take to build a successful business? How long does it take to build a successful relationship? How long does it take with everything, not just with your body? It takes a long time.
See, the problem with people, I think they see the outlook of it, the outside of the shell, and not what's inside the shell.
Yeah.
Like somebody that's super successful, I'm pretty sure he fell on his butt multiple times and tried climbing back up.
100%.
And it takes a long time. Yeah. It's not nothing in life you're going to do right away and say, okay, this is for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I am good. You're going to fail multiple times.
100%.
And through those failures, you're going to notice like, hey, I like this. This is for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but
time. Everything takes time.
I also think that the world of social media and people living this sort of facade life and, sort of, always looking at thy neighbor and seeing how they're living. They don't know their journey. Their Instagram post doesn't tell them their journey.
Yeah, but eventually those people get reality checks all the time.
100%. But it's
it takes time.
Takes time. Yeah. So, and that's where I'm coming from. It was just like, not everything's, we relate the body to the car a lot, water with oil and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's not a quick fix with the body. There's not a quick fix in business. There's not a quick fix. And it's a matter of you just got to put in the hard work, put in the time, put in the effort, and go from there. So I think all those, if people were to actually understand and see the bigger picture and not just the right now, it would be better at that point for their health and for everything else at that point. So I think that has been like something that's been on my mind for a while, just because of the fact of I could try to tell somebody 100 times the time frames and what our averages are, because everyone heals differently, right? And they don't want to hear it. They seriously just do not want to hear it.
They just want to get better.
Like we had somebody repost something of us the other day, and he randomly got that message of, no, they're lying to people. They're this, they're that, talking about chiropractors, right?
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah, and I'm just
I was going to mention that.
No, mention it, man.
Honestly,
mention it. No, I don't care.
I don't want to be
Don't
off
mention
topic.
names. Don't mention names.
I'm not going to mention names at all. But back to like our first couple, probably like our third episode, we talked about integration with doctors.
Yes.
I feel like that person came out and basically started saying chiropractors are fakes, they're not doctors, they're not this and that. Listen, we're not claiming to be medical doctors. We are claiming to be doctors of chiropractic, which we are.
Yes.
And for you to come out and say that, I think there's a problem with you as an individual.
You got to look in the mirror, my man. Yeah, 100%.
I think there's something wrong, because that hatefulness towards a profession, it's like, we're not doing anything to you at all.
Doing anything. And
so like that integration cuts off right there, because if you're talking bad about a profession, you're not going to refer to them. You're going to think, my ego, I know everything, and I'm going to stick in this little bubble of mine. Yeah. So no, shame on you.
Yeah. And
dumbass of the week.
100% dumbass of the week. So that comment was just literally to the point of, it was like unprovoked on anything. He basically sent him a DM and said, "Hey, they're a bunch of phonies, or a bunch of whatever the hell he said." I really don't remember. I know he showed it to me, but I just don't remember. Yeah. And I'm just like, where did that come from? You know? Where did it come? I don't know you. Not just that. Not only do I not know you, it's just a matter of you got to come to the point and tell me, where is that coming from? Like, because if you want me to go on and on and on about how some things in the medical profession, they lie to patients. Like when you tell them, hey, we're going to fix your back through surgery. Well, there's a lot of things that are not fixable through surgery. Yeah,
if you're fixing one issue, like that,
you could create another,
for example. Yeah. You know, you're fixing one. Eventually, what's going to happen to the segment above?
It's going to spread. It's going to go segment above, segment below. So that's where I'm just like, I think every profession is within education, and that's where if you take advantage of this common day stuff of the rapid fix, and you try to sort of scare care is basically what I hate. I can't stand it. And that's what sort of pushes this rapid relief or rapid fix of that everyone's just dying for and striving for. So I think that is a huge issue that we keep on trying to tackle on a regular basis. But it's been a little difficult because people sometimes just don't want to hear it. Like they just don't. And we could only educate so much, and we can't change their mindset, but it's just a matter of we could try. And I'll continue to educate.
End goal is to what though? To get better, right?
To get better. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. On the UFC, we got that fight.
Listen, man, a lot of people are saying, going against what I think that was a lot closer than what people said. Mm-hmm. Like, if Volk got his hand raised, I wouldn't have been surprised whatsoever.
No, I would have been surprised.
Really?
Listen, it was closer than what anybody thought it would be. I'm without a doubt with you on that one. But at the end of the day, in UFC, in boxing, who wins the most rounds? Who wins the most rounds? Period.
You talking about time of possession?
Everything. Who wins? Eye test. Everything. Who wins the most rounds wins the fight. Islam had 3 rounds in the bag. He had 3 rounds.
He did.
That fifth round, if that fifth round was any longer, dude, Volk might have knocked him. I mean,
Islam would have been done.
He might have been done.
If that round was a little longer.
If that round was a little bit longer, it might have been done. But no, 4 of the 5 rounds, Islam won 3.
But that's not a championship shifting fight. Like if it was the other way around, if Islam was fighting for Volk's belt, there's no way they changed championship possession.
I don't know, but you're not looking at the whole fight as a total. You're looking at just the last minute and a half.
Let's look at it.
I know.
Total
you got
strikes.
Yeah.
95 for Islam, 164 for Volk.
Yeah.
He did throw more, but he landed more.
He landed more.
Significant strikes. 70 for Volk, 57 for Islam.
Yeah, but look at that ratio.
Yeah. The ratio is huge.
It's 57 to 95 versus 70 to 140.
No, I completely agree. Control, you give it to Islam.
Yeah, all day.
Takedowns, you give it to Islam.
All day. And those two are huge.
It was a good fight.
Those two are judged so big in the UFC, though.
Yeah.
Takedowns and control. So a majority of the fight was in Islam's control. So that's where I'm just like, no, he had 3 rounds.
Very close.
It was close. It was close.
Very
I think,
close. Volk's defense on the ground is very underestimated.
His defense on the ground was great.
That was awesome.
And Islam's not known to be a striker. He's a grappler. So when he actually stood up with him, I know you weren't a fan of it, but it was the best we've seen him. Like, we weren't expecting that.
He got hit so many times.
He did. He did. He slipped a lot too. I don't know what the heck that was about. There was a lot of slips in the fight. I don't know what it was, but no, he did. He got dazed. I get that, but at the same time, he stood up with them. Like, I didn't see him stand up with anybody like that.
I think Islam though needs Khabib in his corner.
I was just gonna bring that up.
I don't like that. I think Khabib.
I was looking for him.
I know why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Did you hear why he's doing it?
Yeah.
Because like every time he travels with him, everyone's like, "Oh, Khabib." Yeah.
He wants him to have his spotlight,
to have his own legacy.
Yeah.
Which I get.
I respect it.
I think you need to be in his corner.
I think so too.
Because Islam looks up to Khabib.
Yeah.
And he needs to be there. He's better with him there.
Well, I feel like it was the wrong fight to do it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just that. The UFC sort of did him nasty too. Where was Joe Rogan? Okay, where was the typical refs? Where was Big Dean at?
Yeah,
like there was nobody there for. Like, they literally buried this card, and I'm just like, what? I think the first fight of the night was good, and that was about it. But it was just like, why did they do it? And then Khabib wasn't there on top of it. It's like, man, this was a bad card for him. Like, it was just a horrible card. I think they should run it back. I don't know if they will or won't, but I think they should run it back.
I would like to see a rematch.
Yeah, but I think what's his name?
It was in Australia, you know that?
Yeah, and Volk needs to go back and get his belt because there's an interim welterweight now. So he's got to go, because he forfeited it to take this fight. He's got to go back and get it now. So that was taken the fight before Volk. So on to the NBA. Go ahead, talk here. I'm gonna talk here. I'm gonna give you the trades, and you know them.
The Funko Pop,
but my God, yeah,
he's always looking at you.
He is looking. Man, how bad he wants to be Jordan.
Man, he's better than Jordan.
Even in Space Jam, he's got to even do that. He took his number in 23. He wants to do Space Jam. Dude,
that is the GOAT.
Yeah, Jordan's his idol. No. I
have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's number 1 all-time scoring?
Yeah, I got other stats. It doesn't all-time scoring. He played 20 years, of course. And good for him. He should be. Yeah. He should be. I'm not taking away from him.
I'm glad you emphasized on that. He played 20 years, and you continue to explain. Yeah,
and he should be. I mean, without a doubt, he should be number 1 scorer.
He played 21.
I'm not saying that, but all I'm saying is that he's not the GOAT. And we're gonna get into this probably next week or the week after. We'll bring all of them.
We will talk about this.
Bring all of them. Here's the trades. Onto the trades. You got KD to the Suns. You got KD.
Jordan is 1-9 in the playoffs without Scottie Pippen. Talk about KD.
Stop. We're getting
Kevin Durant around 2:00 in the morning. This got announced.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in bed about to sleep, and there's no way. I'm like, I can't sleep anymore.
Yeah.
KD to the Suns.
Yeah. KD went to the Suns
for Jay Crowder,
Cam Johnson, Bridges, and 4 first-round picks. 4.
That's a lot.
How old's KD?
34, 35?
Something like that, yeah. Dude,
4 first-round picks.
That's a lot.
Disgusting.
That's like giving up your future.
Mikal Bridges was playing awesome
for the right now. Yeah,
he's hurt, man.
Yeah,
he's hurt. Like,
you think
right
so?
In here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why or how or
he is so hurt. He was talking about it the other day at the press conference.
Was he?
He's like, it's KD. I get it.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. Like, okay, it's KD, but I mean, they got.
But not for that much.
No.
Oh my God.
New Lakers.
My Lakers.
What's going on with them?
Russell Westbrook got traded. He's on the Jazz. Lakers got D'Angelo Russell, Vanderbilt, and Beasley. I like.
How do you like that?
I like
really.
I like it. Spreads the floor a little more. We get some shooting out of D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Beasley can shoot as well. I think if the Lakers make the play-in,
they're not going to.
They will. They're very close to it. I think if they make the play-in, they're going to go very far. And Mr. James will get.
I don't think he cares to make the play-in.
He does. He's hurt right now.
Oh, stop. He was perfectly fine until he hit the.
Did you see
until he hit the shot? The minute he got his final 2 points. Now magically he's injured
and setting your eyes towards the goal.
Yeah, I get that.
He probably pushed through that injury.
Yeah, pushed through that injury. No,
he's like,
and he just doesn't care to make the play. That's it. He got his goal.
Foot injury, man.
He got his goal. That's it. Done. He doesn't care about team. He doesn't care about winning right now. He got his own personal things going on that he actually got the title. He said, "Forget it. I'm done. I'm done."
Foot.
Oh my God. He was playing perfectly fine the entire game. He gets that scoring title and is like, "Yep, I throw in the towel. Oh, my ankle hurts."
He's looking at you.
Come on. Yeah, let him look all he wants. Come on. It's all he cares about. Yeah.
Did you see what the Jazz said? They
No.
said they're basically focused on their young core.
Yeah.
And whatever minutes Russell can get, Russell can get.
I mean, you said
That's
that.
his decision. I think he's either going to go to the Bulls.
Yeah.
Or some other team. What team was it? I don't know. I think he ends up in Chicago.
So, I mean, you know, Russ.
He's going to get bought out.
You said it from before he even got traded. He needs to be okay with coming off the bench. And he needs to be okay with being the sixth man and coming off the bench. Isn't that what you said?
I think Russ, if he's the main player, number one, he can start. But if there's other stars on the team, I think he needs to come off the bench. The other team was Chicago.
Yeah.
So either Chicago or the
No, that's what you said.
The Heat.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Miami.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I think he'll end up, you know, he'll be good off the bench is where he's going to be coming off of. I truthfully believe.
He's a good player, man.
He's a good player all
It's
in all.
just, you need a situation for him to fit in.
Yeah.
Somebody called him a vampire in the locker room.
Why?
I have no idea.
Why?
I think the way he comes about, like he's vampires to teams and this,
You know,
and that. And his wife came out and was like, that's super messed up.
His wife's always coming out. His
I
wife
think-
came out against everybody. Would call him West
think
Brick or
Russell
call him
is-
what? Come on. I don't
I
care.
think he's disrespected.
Yeah.
I think he needs more credit than he gets. It's just a bad situation with LA. I imagine being the number one
But
guy.
he's always been in the quote unquote bad situation with the
Yes.
Thunder.
Thunder, number 2.
Okay. I mean,
Behind KD.
Okay.
OKC, behind Melo.
how was he in Houston?
Behind Harden. It's hard, man.
I don't know.
It's very difficult.
I don't know if he could do it as a pure number one.
I think he can. I don't know if he'll go all the way and win, but I think his
No,
situation
that's what I'm
will be a
saying.
lot
I mean, at the
better.
end of the day, you want to win.
Yeah, you do.
Because you depend on him to go all the way to win as him being the number one.
Probably not.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Is
I
that
just
I
think
don't
he
think
needs a
he
better
could.
situation.
It is a better situation, but I mean, he's played with studs. He played with stars. You got to make that work as well. I mean, he's just he hasn't done it. So talk about your boy LeBron hitting the title.
Were you surprised how he hit it
No,
with his fadeaway? He didn't
no
even move.
Yeah, no, I wasn't at all.
Everyone was saying he's gonna do the sky hook.
Everyone was wishing he would do the sky
I
hook.
didn't see that.
Why would he do the sky hook? Has he ever done the sky hook?
A couple times.
No, I mean, come on. Let him do his own move and call it a day.
He
So,
did that, and then everyone was celebrating. What happened?
AD, what the hell was that?
AD was just sitting there.
Yeah. Why?
He was like, we were losing. He wanted to win.
No,
Which I get.
I get that. I wish
get that.
LeBron would do the same thing and want to win.
He is a winner. He has 4 championships. 4.
The Bubbles won too, yeah. Yeah.
So
I
it's
guess
still
it
a
counts.
championship.
Yeah, it's not
All
6
other
though.
teams had the same
It's not 6,
opportunity
though.
to win that ring.
It's not 6 though.
It's
No.
not. It's not
Not every
6.
team in the bubble had a chance to win.
Yes, who didn't
No,
have
the
a chance
Phoenix
to win?
Suns.
What are you talking
The Phoenix
about?
Suns. The Phoenix Suns was put in there. They won out the entire play-in, and they never got put in. They never got put in the playoffs. They were doing it to sell tickets. They had a certain contract that
Didn't
they had.
they lose?
No, they won
in the bubble?
They were in the bubble. They won the entire time they were playing in the bubble.
they did. They
Then
went
they
like
could not make the
8-0.
playoffs. Yes, and they did that because there's TV contracts that the NBA has to make that made sure that they were in there. So make sure that there was enough games to be played so they could actually televise them. No, so not everybody had a chance to play.
Everyone in the bubble
because
had
if
a
Phoenix
chance.
had a chance in the playoffs, they were hot as hell that year. I don't know if anybody was stopping them.
bro.
There was no one stopping them that year. And I'm not a Phoenix fan. There was nobody stopping them that year. So that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
AD's reaction was just absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
You know, with the way that he just looked like a little kid pouting in the corner. Like, I mean, and then LeBron went up to him after and was like,
I love you, man.
I love you, man. You know, like that was, he's you know, him
You
and
think
AD
something
are
was
friends.
going on before maybe? That was
I don't know.
brushed under the rug.
I
They
sort of
didn't say
assumed
anything?
he just knew he was going to get traded, and then he never got traded. So I was just like, I don't know what the hell's
Trading
going on.
AD is huge though.
Yeah,
Very, very
so
big.
I don't know what happened there. He could
salty
say
about
he's
something? I
not
don't know.
losing or because he was losing. I mean, you could look into it. You never know what the person's going through or what,
I mean,
personal
AD is
life
used
or
to
anything like
losing,
that.
though. He was on the Pelicans
Right.
for such a long time, and they never won anything.
So
I
here's
don't get that.
my question here's my issue with LeBron. Okay, at that day, teams down, you hit your scoring title. You ride the bench the rest of the time. I don't have an issue with them stopping the game by any means.
You gotta celebrate.
Yeah,
that.
you got to celebrate. And if they didn't stop the game and do that tribute, both teams should have called a timeout back to back to give him that time to celebrate. So
Yeah.
the fact that the NBA did that, they did that with Steph when he hit the 3-point record. They did it before with Kareem. I don't hate it. So I know there was fans out there that just are pure LeBron haters that didn't like that.
Like you.
No, I'm not a LeBron hater at all. But it's just a matter of, that's the problem with you LeBron fans is if you don't call him the GOAT, it's like we swear at your mother. It's like,
I don't
bro,
mind
relax.
you not calling him the GOAT. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to think what I want. You're going to think what you want.
And you're going to think wrong.
That's it.
So he sat on the bench with his quote unquote foot injury, which I'm not questioning if he's got a foot injury or not. But
LeBron, come see us.
What message is that sending to the kids? I'm sorry. And that's my issue. My issue is a lot of kids look up to him and he's like, hey, I got mine.
You think the kids were watching? It's 11:30 at night.
They know. They've watched stats, bro. There's a beautiful thing called the phone that they get everything there. So he got his own and didn't care about his team winning. Doesn't care about any. At least that's what it comes off. They need to win them.
They'll be fine.
They need to win them.
I'm calling it right now. They will be fine.
You're always going to call it.
They will make the playoffs.
But it's just he needs to send a better message at that point. He's got to win at the end of the day.
Yes.
He should have continued to play
won that game.
Yes.
He should have won it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
that's it.
I don't know what happened.
Case closed. Done. Kyrie first game with the Mavs. He put up 24 points and beat the Clippers.
They won.
Let's
go.
Then Luka showed up.
Kyrie 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Luka 27, 9 and 5 assists.
Yeah.
And a loss.
But a loss. And that goes on to your point of
I don't see it.
They have
working.
no defense.
There's no defense on that team. I don't see that working. They're both heavy on the ball. I know Kyrie could play a little more off ball, but Luka's ball dominant. He needs to have the ball in his hands. I don't think that works because of the defensive purposes. I think they need one more piece.
And that's what I'm saying. If they end up, they have to put up 135 points a game in order to win. Like that's high pace.
28 and 27.
Yeah, you're not. Like each one needs to be 35 and above, 40 and above.
Yeah.
And that's difficult to do. So I hope it works just because I like them.
See what Mark Cuban said? He said Kyrie was disrespected by the NBA.
He was. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, who was that guy that we were watching? We were working on a Saturday. We had First Take or we had something on Fox Sports.
I have no idea who the guy was. I know you're talking about.
We had Fox Sports, ESPN. I forget which one it was. Mad Dog.
Yeah.
And he went on just a tangent. And this drives me crazy how the media just always tries to attack one player and just make him out to be the devil.
They're
and
always going to try to attack the easiest player.
It drives me crazy because at the end of the day, the guy's a baller. And just because he stood up and gave his opinion on whatever in the heck his opinions were, whether I'm for him or against him, you still got to respect the fact that he gave his opinion. You could, once again, agree to disagree. It's okay.
Is your opinion at the end of the day.
You could agree to, but to ostracize him like that, bro, this guy was going off on him. How he's just the most selfish player and how's he this, and it was just like I'm sitting there watching it.
People got to be better.
And he said a bunch of like facts that were just not facts, and just went off and just wouldn't stop. And then I think like 12 minutes into the show after that, someone got in his ear, producer got in his ear or something, because all his stats that he misstead, he came back and fixed.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he came back and fixed and said, no, I'm sorry, he did do this and he didn't do that and yada, yada, yada. But it was just like, man, when they get that mic and that camera, they forget how to act. And I'm like, dude, like at the end of the day, you could agree to disagree.
Hate and resentment
It's nuts.
Kyrie, which
it's nuts.
All right.
Yeah. So let's get into the NFL, and I know we want to get into the Super Bowl, and we'll talk heavy about that. But I sort of want to talk about, you asked me a few weeks ago what I thought about Tomlin, and I think Tomlin's a good coach, right? But here's my problem with Tomlin. He's a player's coach. Okay. I don't think we've won one in 13 years. We've hardly won any playoff games.
Which one did you guys win?
We won against, I don't remember numbers, dude. I'm horrible with that. We won against Seattle, and then we beat Arizona.
Seattle was Detroit,
Seattle
right?
was the last one in Detroit. That was the last one we won. So Hargrave and Juju. They were both Hargrave's defensive tackle for the Eagles. He came out and said, in Pittsburgh, I didn't really play as much like I'm playing in Philadelphia. But when I got to Philly, they just cut me loose. They put me in good situations to win. He's the second or third player that came out and just said that how the minute they left Pittsburgh, it was like the floodgates were opened up for him for their full potential.
Like a flower that blossomed.
And it was just like, why is that? Why? That's the issue that I have with the entire coaching staff and with Pittsburgh is what's going on that you can't, because you're doing good in the draft. You're finding these players. You're doing what you need to be doing.
You're just not developing them.
You're not developing them at all. So what does that say for the coaching staff? And that's been getting me nonstop because, even with Canada keeping his job and all that good stuff, it's like, I hope it works. As a fan, I don't think it will, but I hope it works. But he's like the third or fourth player. Juju came out and said it. Hargrave came out and said it. And there was a couple other ones that came out, I think, on the defensive side. And Tomlin's a defensive mind. So that sort of, it irks me just because I'm like, get the full potential because you're doing the right things in the draft. You're not developing them. And it's just driving me nuts. So I had to get that out there.
You think they're getting rid of the players too soon? You think that's the issue?
Yeah, they could be.
A player like Juju, he stayed in Pittsburgh for how long? 4 years?
It was 5.
Was it
4
5?
Or 5? Yeah, but
Juju's enough though.
Juju's a different story, man. They tried to make him a number 1. He was never a number 1. He had his best years when he was with AB. You can't put him as a number 1.
You're not drawing enough
He's
attention.
a number 2. Playing in some, and he's a good number 2. He's a damn good number 2. He's not a number 1 though. So you had to cut ties with that just because he wanted number 1 money. And I think sort of going over to KC and being traded might have humbled him a little bit. He went from a TikTok phenom to now, okay, I got to get me mine.
Got to strap down.
I got to come back up. He went and there was Tyreek there and Kelsey there, and I mean he was a number 3 at the time. So he had to sort of prove his way. So that may have humbled him. Now Juju, I mean, he plays hard. I mean, he plays hard. He blocks. He does what he's got to do. Players. So he's a hard player, but I don't think he's a true number 1. I think that's the issue with him. Next one, we get into Sean Payne here. Sean Payne got traded to the Broncos.
Do you like that move?
So, no, I don't like trading for coaches. I really don't. If the Steelers wanted to do it, I'd be a little upset with that. But Denver sends a 2023 first-round pick from San Fran, so number 30 overall, and a 24 second-round pick to New Orleans for Payne, and a 24 third-round pick. Okay.
Yeah, well, you can see where their mindset is right now. The Broncos want to win now because they have Russell.
Yeah.
Whatever's left in them, probably 3-4 years, probably.
Yeah.
Whatever's left, now is the go time. So I can see this trade, and I don't mind this trade.
I don't hate it.
I think Sean Payne's a great coach.
Yeah, I don't hate it. But here's my thing: is a matter of he came in and he cleaned house right away, and he said, "Listen, Russ, you're not gonna have your team, your personal team in here. You want to do anything, you're doing it with the Broncos team organization." I like that. And like I said from a few weeks ago when we were talking about Russell and is he washed or not, I don't think he's washed. I think Hackett was just that bad of a coach.
Because at the end of the season, they fired him.
They fired everyone. He played good. And he came out and did his thing. Yeah, 2 or 3 games. So I think he's got that, and I think he could be perfectly good with it. Sean Payne's he is a beast. So, talking about coaching, we could go into good old Big Red. Yesterday was unbelievable. I mean, he just orchestrated the greatest second half that I've seen in a while.
I think with the Eagles, he went to 5 straight NFC championships as well.
Yeah.
Now with the Chiefs, are we on to 4?
I think 4. Right, he's won 2 in 4 years.
Put some respect on my man's
so
name.
he's been good. I love the fact of how they came out in the second half. He sort of went back to ring around the rosy and oh my God, we don't know what play it is, and they were pulling all these little stunts off, and it's like it's the biggest stage and they're doing this. So it was nuts. So a couple things here. When we are looking at quarterbacks making their debut in the Super Bowl and losing it, 17 of them never made it back. Okay, so do you think that for Jalen Hurts?
If they keep the same team and everything,
do you think he'll come back?
I think he comes back. 100%.
You think so?
Yeah.
So
I think Hurts is a awesome quarterback.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, like the small little things like that fumble costed them.
Let's talk about that fumble. He fumbled. Next drive, he comes back and does what?
What happened to him?
He drives him right down.
Yeah,
he drives him right down and scored. So when we talk about, with the kids and short-term memory and make sure you get over it, that's what professional athletes do.
You have to. Yeah.
They don't let that sit there and bother them. It's in the past, on to the next. Field conditions were funny, man. Field conditions for being a Super Bowl.
People said they prepped it for so long as well, and it just didn't turn out right.
I guess the way that they do it, I was reading it this morning. I guess the way they do it is it's been 2 or 3 weeks in the worst, where they literally roll out the entire sheet of grass outside, curate it, sun, water it, roll it back in.
And they bring it in.
And they keep on doing that for the last 2 weeks to get the quote-unquote perfect grass. But, I mean, they even made a point of it, the way that everyone was changing their cleats and opening kickoffs. The kicker slipped.
I feel like the fields was a problem, though. I feel like some players would be like, get rid of the turf. And then now that we have actual grass, right? It was?
Yeah, I believe it was actual grass.
So now we have actual grass, and it's a problem as well.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like there's never equal playing
Yes,
field.
it just looked, it seriously looked like they put new sod down, and the roots never took to the dirt, and it was just slipping and sliding everywhere.
It was a weekend of slipping.
The
NFL,
yeah,
the UFC.
Yeah. It was just like, it was
Very
weird
odd.
with that. The QB sneak. That QB sneak
can't stop that.
of the Eagles is so
They
deadly.
put Hurts, 2 people, and one behind.
Yeah,
right?
one behind. They got 3
and
backs.
They just hike it
And push them through. How do you stop that? You get 3 to 4 yards every
never
single
seen that
time.
stopped yet.
It has not been
With
stopped
them the whole season.
I mean,
I had
not that
Jalen
I've
Hurts in
seen.
fantasy.
Yeah, not that I've seen.
And every single time, if he's on the one, we're getting a
Bro, how do you stop that? I mean, seriously, you run a goal line, and with their own line, with Philly's own line, how do you stop
Have you seen
that?
that video of Jalen Hurts squatting like 600 pounds?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
my man,
he's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's pushing a line.
If a lineman is on him, he's gonna push him.
Yeah, he's
off.
pushing a line. Patty Mahomes re-injures his ankle. I think it was an ankle tackle.
Mahomes
Didn't
is
roll on
special,
it,
man.
right?
Mahomes
So
is-
he injured it. I think there was a minute left in the first half. Goes in the locker room, comes out, whatever, probably tore it all or whatever it was. Just, he didn't feel it anymore. It was done. And he just came out and bawled. But
He's a special player.
he didn't have crazy stat lines. If you talk about stat lines, which sort of threw me off, because even last week when we were talking, I said, for KC to win, they got to get rid of the run game for Philly and force it into Hurts' hands, right? So, and that's exactly what they did. Like, if you look at the stats, Hurts went 27 to 38, unreal, for 304 yards, a passing touchdown, 70 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns rushing. So, I mean, my man's did it, right? He did it with his arm. I don't agree with the last play, but we'll get there in a sec. But, I mean, he did it. Where if you look at Mahomes, 21 to 27 for 182 and 3 touchdowns, right? Who did I tell you was going to go off yesterday? Pacheco. What was the stat line?
15 carries, 76 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I love the way he runs.
He runs so hard.
He reminds me of Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Just that aggressive tone to his run. and Just keep on going, keep on going.
I mean, for me, more Maurice Jones-Drew.
His legs are never stopping.
That's what I'm saying. He's more of MJD for me.
You think so?
He's just a stockier. So MJD was stocky. This guy's just ripped. He's cut. And he kills it, man. The way he runs is great. So that's what I'm looking at the stat lines, and I'm just like, the Chiefs sort of took the Eagles game plan and performed it better. And the Eagles tried to sort of take the Chiefs game plan and didn't win, because the Eagles all year has been rushing the ball. All year have been rushing the ball.
They went down to the classic football.
Yeah, they went down.
Ground and pound.
Yeah, so it was sort of crazy how they did that. Did you see that commercial?
Which one?
There had to have been one commercial.
Oh, the Fire Stick commercial.
My God,
Man,
I
where
was
sitting,
tripping.
and a couple people were having conversations, not paying attention.
Yes.
But the host of where I was at, he's like, "Whoa, who's that on the controller? Who's that on the
I did the same thing.
controller?"
It was a Tubi
I'm like,
commercial.
I think it's a commercial.
No, I had no idea it was a commercial.
Really?
It was a Tubi commercial because I was on the Fire
Everyone
Stick.
was going crazy.
And I'm looking and I'm like, who's sitting on the controller? What's going on? Hey, leave the controller alone. Put it down. Who the hell's doing that? And I'm like, and then it's sitting right in front of me. I'm like, they freaking got me. It was like, back in the day, those voicemails, they were like, someone leaves a voicemail and they're like, hello. And you're like, and you start talking to a freaking
Hello,
voice.
you kicked
It's
my
like,
dog or whatever
you
those
freaking got
ones.
me, dude. Like, you got me with that one.
So a little off topic.
Yeah.
Prime Brady
Yeah.
versus Prime Mahomes. Who's more talented?
Oh, talented or more of a winner?
Who's more talented? Because I'm taking Mahomes.
Mahomes more talented.
More talented,
Yeah.
yes.
More of a winner at this point, you go Brady. I mean, and I'm more of a Mahomes fan, but you got to call it as it is. A bigger winner, no, it's Brady.
Mahomes or Manning? I'm taking Mahomes over Peyton Manning.
Brain or skill
Overall,
Mahomes.
I'm taking Mahomes.
I would take Mahomes.
Brain, you go Peyton. Smart,
all day.
Smart
Brain,
quarterback.
you go Brady and Payne.
But
Payne's up there though.
Skill-wise, you go Mahomes over both of them.
Yeah. That's without a doubt. If you watched Peyton Manning play fully, he would take the entire play clock because he's digesting and he's just diagnosing and dissecting the defense as he's going and calling his
He
audibles.
can never do that in the
and
playoffs, though.
no,
so
because they
bad
start
in the
disguising it better. You start disguising it more. I mean, and you're not playing, Tennessee twice or Houston twice or anything along those lines.
Greatest
So,
regular season quarterback of all time.
yeah. I mean, he was
I'm putting him there.
he was there. He was there. I mean, I would have to look at stat lines to actually back that up, but I mean, he was. You have to put him up there for sure. Yeah. Defensive holding call. What you think about that?
I know where you're gonna go with it.
No, I'm really asking. What do you think of it?
It was a hold.
Okay.
You know what? It was a hold. That's all I'm gonna say.
You tell me what you said before. Tell me what you said before. Tell me what you said before.
I think you choke on your whistle there because it's the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Because it's the Super Bowl, not a regular season game.
It's a game. It's a deciding. Game. It's a deciding call that changed the outcome of a game.
Play go.
It changed the outcome of the game. Even Bradbury came out and said it was Bradbury, right?
Yeah,
came out and said it was a hold, right? But there was so many missed calls or missed holds, probably 2 or 3 on Juju when he was crossing. He did a quick slant, crossing across the center of the field.
PI, right?
Yeah, and he was holding them. Okay, didn't call it. So there we go with consistency. Where if you're gonna not call those middle of the game, I think it was 10 minutes left in the third, 10 minutes left in the fourth, and they missed that call.
Early third.
So that was just like, how do you miss those? But this one you're gonna call, and if you see it, it's such a ticky tack. It's such a ticky tack call.
There wasn't
that
much
you can't give that up. You can't. You change the outcome of this game, and it was a great game.
Decided the game,
and it was a great game.
That decided the game.
Yeah, and that decided the game. So that's where I'm like, okay, you gotta sort of choke on the whistle, sort of like we said about them with the Celtics, like your boy LeBron with the Celtics.
That's a different game. No, that's a regular season game versus Super Bowl.
Listen. You can't be a hypocrite. You cannot be a hypocrite.
No, I'm not being a hypocrite.
If he's choking on his whistle now, he's choking on his whistle later.
No,
it's the same thing.
Wrong.
You cannot change the outcome of the game by a whistle.
Let the players play.
Let the players play.
A game of that high magnitude, you need to
let the players play.
No, absolutely
you let the players play either way.
The players played for 48 minutes.
Yeah,
they played already.
Which I'll go back and tell you the same thing, and I'll agree with you with this. The fact that you needed that call, and that changed the outcome of the game. Well, your defense could have made a stop. Your defense could have did something else because you had a great deal, and I'm with you there. But to let that change the outcome of it,
for a regular season game, I'm fine with calling that. For the Super Bowl, I am not.
No, even LeBron had something to say about it. Sorry, but I don't like that call. Not for the Super Bowl, man. His
Did he get slapped on the hand or no?
His hands. No, he didn't get slapped on the hand.
He grabbed him though.
His hand was on the back.
His hand was on the back. Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year.
Even your boy LeBron says his hand was on his back, had no effect on his route. This game was too damn good for that call to dictate the outcome at the end. Damn. By the way, I have no horse in this race, just my professional opinion. So this one, don't make the call. But the other one, yeah, okay. Either way. Final play.
It's the Super Bowl. That's why. That high of a game, that magnitude, bunch of people watching, you do not call that right there.
Hypocrite.
I hate you, man.
Final play. The only problem I had with the final play there is you're trying to throw 70 yards with a 50-yard arm.
What the hell was that?
You're trying to throw 70 yards with a 50-yard arm. You don't do that. Like you tried to do a hook and ladder.
8 seconds left, didn't they?
At 8 seconds left.
I think they should have went quick out of bounds.
Quick out, because he can't throw it that 70 yards. He cannot throw it the 70 yards. So if you do that
during the season, I'm always seeing Hurts to AJ Brown.
Yeah, but not that far. He's even since college, he doesn't have a 70-yard arm.
Bad play call.
So that's where it's like you do a 15, 20-yard, 20 yards too far. You do 12 to 15-yard out, get out of bounds. It's a risk, yeah, but you got to work the sidelines and try to get out of bounds and get some more yards so that way he can make that throw and give them a chance, because AJ Brown's just a beast as is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see his touchdown? His touchdown against 2 defenders where he pushed one and
in
the beginning.
Yeah, well, and that perfect throw. I mean, he put it right in the breadbasket, right where it had to be. So that was something that was, it was there. He had a great throw there, but it was just that last final play. I'm telling you, throwing 60, 70 yards with the 50-yard arm, you can't do it at that point.
Give you guys a chance to win.
Yeah.
Something.
Last thing before we get going here.
This is a hard one.
Which one? You want to do that one? All right, let's do it.
Are we doing that one? Are we doing the top 5?
No, I want to save that for a different one. I just want to ask you about that halftime show. That's all I'm doing.
Riri?
Yeah, I want to ask you about
that. Riri. I'm not talking bad about Riri. I like Rihanna. We're going to keep it at that. She was pregnant.
That was
performing. You go, girl.
That was the best coming out. Like, hey, I'm pregnant. That was unreal.
That's awesome.
I mean, how do you announce it any other way?
You can't hate on it,
right? I mean, you could hate on it. I thought it was horrible, but that's just me. Like last year's was unreal.
Let it go.
Do you know that they don't get paid for that?
She got paid $0.
No, they never get paid.
Really?
They never. I was looking it up. It's just exposure, because if you look at how much their sales go up after the Super Bowl, because it's the biggest stage they're ever going to perform on, and they have the most set of eyes on them.
Yeah,
so they
awesome.
never get paid. They just basically, they're doing it because of its exposure. It's unreal. I didn't know that, but it makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. So that's all we got for today.
Man, that last part, man, I want to do it.
I want it next week. I want it next week.
Come on.
No, we want it next week. Thanks you guys for tuning in. This is Dr. Mo. I please do me a favor. Click the like, click the subscribe, share it to people that you actually liked. Go to our social medias, follow those. We got everything: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Morning Cup of Moes. You want to email us topics or email us coffee suggestions, morningcupofmoes@gmail.com. We're here to listen. I'm Dr. Mo Hazimi.
Dr. Ahmed, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for tuning in.